Hey, what's up, guys? This is Teacher Ken, and welcome to the first lesson of the advanced level. I hope that you are familiarized with the way that our exercises work, but I will give you just a very brief explanation for this one time. We will be using the grammar book, English Sentence Structure, to practice different conversation exercises that have to do with specific grammar lessons that are for advanced level students. If you still are in doubt of whether you are capable of continuing in the advanced level or not, I recommend you to go ahead and take a look at the intermediate evaluation exercise. If you were able to understand everything and you did not have much hesitation throughout the exercise, that means that you are ready for this level. If not, it's okay. You can go back and you can learn. In any case, you know that this podcast is completely for free. I would like to go ahead and make a short announcement and remind everyone that the goal of this podcast is to reach 1 million free English students online. This is only going to be possible if I get some help from you. So please, if you like these videos, if you like the podcast, if you enjoy the lessons, if you practice this every day, if you listened to the episode that speaks about how to learn English in 2023 with no excuses, please like, comment your questions, and share with everyone that you know that either wants to learn or improve their English level. I hope that you are not just one more of those million students, but you are also an ally that helps me reach people all over the world that are looking for another option to learn English and might not have the money to pay for a professor. Let's get down to topic. Lesson 21 is the first lesson of the advanced level. We are always going to work these exercises describing first the information that we find within the box. And after that, we're going to work with a complicated grammar exercise that is going to help us internalize that grammar. This conversational practice exercise is something that I want you to be able to use as many times as you would like, which is why I leave them into small podcast episodes that you can set on loop to repeat over and over again. And that way you will be able to have that practice in conversation. I am basically going to start the exercise and give you a moment to produce the idea applying the correct structure of the exercise. After that, I am going to repeat the correct structure and I will give you a moment so that you can go ahead and say it after I have corrected it. Trust me, if you practice these and also the Pro Talk videos and you maintain yourself in constant English conversation, listening and speaking for 4 hours every day, a person that knows no English will be able to become a near native speaker in 1 year. If you had the opportunity to spend 24 hours a day in an immersive program, you would be able to learn any language in less than 6 months. Some people already do that, but we will have another podcast episode for it. Allow me just one moment. I am very sorry, guys, but allergies, they don't discriminate. Now, every grammar lesson will start with the box that explains the grammar. In this case, It is the first lesson for the advanced level, and they start with a small refresher of a structure that was seen in the beginning of the intermediate level. We told him to go. In here, we have a person that has an influence on another person to do something. The order is person, action, other person, and the other action. Back then, we practiced using to for the second action, but not all of the actions need to use that to. And some of them, it's actually incorrect to add a to before the second action. That's why we have these two examples here. It says, we told him to go. And on the contrary, it says, we saw him go. In this case, it is incorrect to say, we saw him to go, because the action to see doesn't let me use to before the second action. So again, there are going to be some actions that are going to let me use to infer that they are influencing another person for another action. But there are some actions similar to see, in this case saw, that are not going to let me do this. I know that this is a delicate topic, and it's something that you're going to need lots of practice with. There is no other way for you to internalize what actions are correct and what actions are not correct. You will need to practice the correct structures over and over again. You need to be corrected on a structure at least 10 times. People say about 20 times for you to finally internalize it. I need you to be willing to make mistakes, and I need you to be willing to sound bad and to sound wrong. You have to do it because you need to be able to correct yourself. There is going to be a learning curve in which at first you're going to feel frustrated because you are being corrected when you think you're saying things right. After a little bit, you're going to start realizing that you know what your mistakes usually are, and you find yourself correcting your own errors. This is just the first step. You need to keep on making those mistakes because you need to keep on correcting yourself. At some point, your brain will give you the correct structure before you make the mistake, because you have heard it the right way so many times that the wrong way just sounds wrong. I know it's difficult to trust someone that you haven't known, but again, I have been a professor for over 15 years, and I have graduated literally hundreds of people, teaching them their very first complete sentences in English, until seeing them graduate and having, literally giving a speech in front of tens of people, or performing at a play completely in English, being understood by other people. Trust me, the process may sound or may feel like it's not going to work, but you need to trust the process. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the notes that are right here on screen also. And it states here, see, hear, feel, and watch. These actions are also able to use the ing form. So the action see, we can say we saw him going, but we cannot say we saw him to go. Right here, we have a special note. Let make and have in the sense of cause, meaning, again, that you are going to influence another person to do something else, okay? They are not used in this pattern with ing. So I cannot say, I let them eating. That is not correct. You would have to say, I let them eat the sandwich. And it's also incorrect to say, I let them to eat the sandwich, because the action let does not let me use to for the other influence. I have a few more examples here, but I really want you to come to the exercise in which you really are going to have to push yourselves to remembering which is which. Let me just double check here to make sure if it is this one right here. There we go. I love this exercise. This is an exercise that is going to let you create your own ideas, and you are going to have to think whether or not you have to use that too. We have a group of noun phrases. Let's say people. And then we also have actions or activities. We are going to use the actions that are provided to us, and we're going to choose one noun phrase or one subject, one person or group of people, and we're going to use a verb expression. Remember that the order is person, action, the other person, and the other action. And before that last action or that last activity, you have to think and decide, should I be using to? So let's look at these examples up here. And we're going to try to make one with each of these 20 actions down here. I am going to give you the action and give you some time to create a full idea, and I am going to give you one of my own. This kind of exercise is going to let you just practice in a very open way, and I recommend you to use it with your own situations and your own people. You can go ahead and do the same as you can see here on the page. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 people, right? Or 7 groups, okay? We can talk about people, about animals, okay? And then on the other side, they have decided to put different activities, different things that have to be done. So we have asked, and we have the idea here, I asked the children to get off the boat. The action ask cannot use the ing form. So I asked the children getting off the boat would be incorrect. Saw. I saw the secretary open the door. As we saw a little bit earlier here, you would be able, in the case of see, to use the action without the to, or the ing, but it would not be correct to use to. So right here in exercise 5, if I said, I saw the secretary to open the door, would be incorrect. I saw the secretary open the door is correct. I saw the secretary opening the door is also correct. And then we have. I had the bus driver turn the radio on. Have cannot use the ing form and cannot use the to. Remember, you can go to the internet and look for the list to know which is which and which uses to and which doesn't. But what really matters, what you really need to do if you want to learn to speak, is to repeat this exercise in conversation. Speak, say it out loud. Yes, you can write down your ideas throughout the day. You can think of moments when you have to tell people to do other things, and you can practice the structures, but I need you to say it out loud. If you expect to speak English fluently this year. Remember, the 1,000 hours of practice that are necessary are conversational practice. Writing and reading is extra practice. Let me go ahead and give you some ideas here. Again, I will start with myself. I will use the action. I will choose one person from this group, one noun phrase, and then I am going to choose one verb expression, and I have to think if I should use or not to or ing. Made. I made the children take some pictures. I let Mr. and Mrs. Brown open the door. I persuaded all my relatives to get off the boat. I ordered the other people to arrive on time. I saw Professor Johnson look up the number. I permitted the secretary to put a hat on. I wanted the bus driver to turn the radio on. I expected the children to talk about politics. I asked Mr. and Mrs. Brown to play the piano. I made all my relatives put everything away. I told the bus driver to open the door. I heard the other people arrive on time. I watched Professor Johnson playing the piano. I forced the children to get off the boat. I advised my friend to practice in the morning. I had my doctor prescribe me some medicine. I invited my friends to visit me more often. I let my students ask me questions in the comments. I helped you to practice today. I asked my father to call me tonight. I insist, guys. I know this is not an easy exercise, but trust me. Take this word bank and practice sentences like this, speaking in conversation every day this week. And trust me, it will become second nature. I hope that you enjoyed this class, and remember, English is easy. You just need to practice. See you next class.